Good morning, everybody. Welcome to everyone. We will be starting our session at exactly 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning, everybody. A warm welcome to today's Academy of York Wisdom Wednesday. I would like to thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Today, we are tackling a topic that touches all of our lives. We are talking about financial concepts at work. It's a reality that many of us, we work so hard for our money, but sometimes it doesn't feel like our money is working as hard for us. Today, we are here to explore how we can change that, gaining a better understanding of how to make our finances serve us more effectively, and leading us through today's insightful session. We do have our very own experts. We do have Val Leeming joining us and presenting this session to us. Val, over to you.
Good morning, and thank you so much for that great introduction, Pumla. It's great to have you on the line today. And yes, as Pumla mentioned, today is all about you and building your money skills, because the truth is money matters. Money impacts every single aspect of our lives. And I am certainly passionate about each and every one of us taking a look at where we're at on our financial journeys and improving our financial well-being skills. So it's great to have you on the line. And just a reminder that Academy of York sessions are free. They're available to every single one of our students. And we also have some wonderful Wisdom Wednesdays coming up in the months of August, September, October, November, and December. So once a month, please diarize these dates and remind yourself, and please feel free to invite a colleague, a friend, or anybody who, like you, is similar-minded and who wants to grow their skills and knowledge. Academy of York is a college that really helps people with a purpose become the people that they want to be tomorrow by growing their skills. We have over 160 different courses available to our students, different levels of study, and we're passionate about not just people registering, but also people actually achieving their goals and their qualifications. So it's great to have you on the line. Just to note that today's session is recorded, and we will also be having this session on Facebook. So we've got a lot of Facebook friends joining us, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Pumla, as my colleague, will be keeping a note on the chat and the Q&A. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to raise your hand, to pop a note in the chat, because there is no such thing as a stupid question. So let's get started. I trust you can all hear me and you can all see me. So please, if you can, give me a little reaction using that top bar where you're seeing the reaction. Either give me a thumbs up or give me a little heart so that I know that you're out there and you're listening and you can hear me. Thank you so much, Pumla Ngoni, for that little indication that you can hear me and see me perfectly. So as Pumla, thank you, Hlonipa. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. And Sipho, great to see you on the line. So just as a reminder, today we're going to be unpacking, as per our invitation, some of the key concepts around financial well-being. And my experience in financial well-being and in the world of sort of financial health and well-being in South Africa has been a long journey. I could almost say I am a gogo when it comes to financial well-being. I've been doing financial education for the past 22 years. And really, I know that money is very much a taboo topic. People don't like to talk about it. Certainly, it is a touchy subject in the workplace. We certainly can't ask our colleagues, so how much do you earn? And so many people struggle with this concept of financial confidence. And so we're going to be touching on some of the key elements, and perhaps today just really planting those seeds and really getting you to think about your personal finances in a new light. We will be sharing a copy of the slide deck with you, and we really hope that you share it with your colleagues, your family members, your friends, and that together we grow a better financial literacy environment in South Africa and beyond. We're going to be looking at why we do what we do when it comes to the financial decisions that we make. What are things that impact our finances? One of the key reasons why people study is to earn more, but do we actually understand our payslip? Do we understand how we're earning that income? How can we budget more effectively? How do we understand our financial now? And then the key ingredient in terms of changing financial outcomes, and it all starts with habits. So let's start with the concept of financial confidence. And, you know, I almost wish that, you know, just like perhaps you take your vitamin B or your vitamin C every day to protect yourself from perhaps getting flu, there was a little pill or something we could do that would make us feel confident. That confidence is really an incredible feeling. It's that ability to feel empowered, to feel like you can take control. It's that ability to perhaps make decisions. It's almost the difference between feeling unstoppable and feeling scared out of your wits. And so I'd love you to think about your current financial confidence level. And perhaps if you're not feeling super confident, perhaps because of money mistakes you might have made in the past, or because you were never taught how to manage your finances, the truth of it is that self-confidence, financial confidence, is really about believing in yourself. And when you believe in yourself and you start to work on that ability, magic can happen. So it's really a different elements of financial confidence. It's that understanding of where you're at right now in your financial life. You know, John DeMartini, one of the great financial coaches and gurus of our time, talks about the clearer your understanding of your financial now, the faster you can grow your financial future. So it's that self-belief that you can make good decisions. It's actually not only, it's not like getting on a plane and sort of the pilot says, oh my goodness, we're going down. Can anyone fly this plane? And you go, yes, I'm confident I can fly the plane. But actually, you've never flown a plane. So it's not about fake confidence. It's about actually having the skills and the ability, but also being able to say to yourself that no matter what happens on my journey, because one thing I can be sure of, not only in my own life, but in the countless people that we have assisted, is that life happens. Life is a series of ups and downs, highs and lows. The one thing we can be sure of is that we are going to experience change, loss in our lives, that we never know what could be around that financial corner or down that road or that path in our lives. So that ability to be able to navigate those ups and downs, have a plan, and then actually impact that plan, do the work. It's not just about having the drive, but actually doing the hard work. I'm reminded of that awesome quote, you know, success is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. We've got to do the work in order to achieve the goals. We can't just want it and then not do anything about it and think that there's going to be this magic wand, simsalabim, and you're going to earn more, or simsalabim, and your financial problems are going to go away. Perhaps winning the lottery, you might think, would make your financial problems disappear. But the lottery effect shows us that people who have a financial win, like winning the lottery, within a 2 to 3 year period, they can be in an even worse off situation than when they won the lottery, because actual financial health and well-being doesn't depend on something happening in our lives that turns things around. It's about that ability to actually be conscious and confident in terms of making informed decisions. So as Pamela mentioned, money impacts every area of our lives. It's almost like we all have a shadow. You know, that thing that follows us around when the sun is out, and we can see our shadow, and that shadow grows or shortens depending on the time of day. Financial stress can impact every area of our lives. It can impact our ability to be productive at work. It can impact our ability to provide for our loved ones. It can impact our relationships. It can even impact our physical health. You know, Discovery, one of the big medical aid providers in South Africa, shared quite an interesting statistic a couple of years back that 70 to 80% of doctors' visits are due to stress. And sadly, one of the top causes of stress is money stress. And it's not a problem just unique to South Africans. It actually impacts people all around the world. So it's really important that we actually start to talk about money and really start to control our money so that it doesn't control you. And without a doubt, think about yourself in 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, and I'm not quite sure your age, but what will that person say about your actions that you made today? Because the work we do today, often we only see the benefits in the future. And that concept, very important concept of return on investment, what we're doing today will have a return that our future selves might thank us for. But let's start just with sort of thinking about money feelings. If I was to say the word money, What's the first thing that pops to mind? And Pumla, I encourage our audience just to pop a little, perhaps a message in the chat box if you're confident enough to do so. When I say the word money, what are some of the first things that pop to mind? Pumla, from your side, if I was to say money, what do you think some of the most common reactions are?
I think some of the most common reactions would be debt, probably. You think about your budget, you think about things money can buy, and also happiness, because in as much as they say money doesn't buy happiness, but it does contribute a lot to one's mood and how they feel generally.
Absolutely. So I'm sure many people are relating to what you're saying. If you can relate to those keywords, I would really encourage you to give us a reaction or to pop a little message in that chat function. I definitely think that, some people feel very sad about their financial situation. Perhaps they feel frustrated. It's very much an emotional topic. Perhaps some people feel happy. Perhaps you just got a promotion at work or a new job and you're feeling happy about the fact that you're going to be able to provide that much more. Or perhaps when you're checking out your bank statements and going, oh my goodness, where did my money go? Where did it actually go? Or perhaps if you're at a shop and you swipe your card or you use Apple Pay, you're like, I'm scared. Will this payment go through? So, without a doubt, money is an emotional topic. If I was to, for example, give you Finky on the line $1,000 right now, how would you feel? I'm sure you would say you feel very happy. Pumla, if you were to win the lottery, how would you feel?
I'd feel very happy. I'd feel very
I'm
happy.
sure you got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
But how much money do people actually spend on gambling and on things that they hope are going to give them a big financial windfall? So money is a very emotional topic. In fact, we want it to be like a head relationship, rational, debits, credits, what's in the bank, positive, negative. But it very often is a heart and emotional subject. And we live in a world that's all about immediate gratifications. I'm hungry. I want it now. I don't have any food. True story. What am I going to do? Uber Eats, use my phone, and within minutes it can be delivered. Or check a 60/60, immediate gratification. People spend money when they're happy. People spend money when they're sad. It's called retail therapy. Or, when the markets are going down, think about in COVID. Where all the stock markets collapsed, people were panic selling. There's social media that impacts us. What's trending, what influences, what's happening, who can we watch? Lifestyle inflation. We often think, well, the more I earn, I'm going to be in a better position financially, but the more we earn, the more we spend, or the cost of living increases. On the chat, I see that payday stresses us a lot because we're thinking about the debt that we have. Yeah, you're right. For the average person in South Africa, for every 100 Rand, and you and I earn on average $70 is spent on debt for every 100. That means for 3 weeks in the month, we work to pay off our debt. And very often we don't understand the cost of lending and what that loan actually costs us. So there's a lack of financial literacy, a lack of understanding. So money causes a reaction. We feel things about money and then we act on it. And it's important to sometimes disconnect or to perhaps become conscious of why do I do what I do when it comes to the money decisions that I make on a daily basis. And Pumla mentioned, we all work. I'm sure you would all agree with me that we work. And one of the main drivers to work is to earn an income. That's the main driver. So the average person who works, maybe they work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month, and we're working to earn that magic number. If you're employed, that hits your bank account on payday. But how much time do you actively spend managing your money? Does your money work for you? And what could we do to create a different outcome? If we start spending time managing our money, there will be a better outcome. It might not happen tomorrow. Change doesn't happen in a day. It's like if you go to the gym for the first time, you're not going to walk out having beautiful muscles or having lost weight or being super fit. You've got to do it daily. It's a daily habit. And then you're only going to see the results in the long run. Maybe after the first month, maybe after a couple of months, you're going to start to see the difference or the benefits. So it is a process. And a lot of us, we lose interest, we stop doing the work, and then we say, oh, why didn't I get there? And so that's why habits are so very, very, very important. But it's not just perhaps about things that are within our control. Sometimes things happen that are outside of our control that lead us in terms of having an impact of financial stress. And it could be we don't have the skills and knowledge to manage our finances. It could be unexpected life events or unexpected bills. The car breaks down, your tires have to be replaced, or the geyser bursts, or a loved one passes away, a funeral, and you're asked to contribute and you don't have the money. We don't have savings. So then we tap into other people's money, debt, and then it becomes a cycle because we're repaying this debt. So it could be either a negative thing that happens in your life, like loss, or perhaps change in marital status, divorce, perhaps loss of a job, or it can be positive. It could be growing your family. It could be an unexpected pregnancy and you're thrilled about it. It could be a wedding that you're planning. So things happen in life that impact us. And something that happens outside of our control, just a couple of weeks ago, the petrol price went up. Outside of our control, yet it's going to impact our transportation or our petrol bill at the end of every single month. The cost of bread might go up. Inflation is a financial concept that is outside of our control. Inflation basically meaning that basket of goods and the cost of money reducing over time. So I was born in the 70s. I'm a 70s baby. Had my parents given me 1,000 Rand in the 70s, it could have bought a lot more than 1,000 Rand buys you today. Using an example of transportation, 1,000 Rand would have bought you a car in the 70s. Today, does it buy you a car? No. Does it buy you a bicycle or a motorbike? No. Does it maybe buy you running shoes? Yes. Maybe in 10 years from now, will it still buy you running shoes? Maybe not. Maybe it will buy you a bus ticket. And that is a very important financial concept, inflation, that the fact of it is that our buying power can reduce over time. So what is happening in the financial world today? Well, many people, 44% of people are cutting back on luxury items right now. So that is happening today. Family support is a massive pressure point. You know, I don't just work to take care of me. I might work to take care of my husband, my children. I might also work to take care of my elderly mother, some of my siblings. I come from a big family. I've got 6 sisters and 2 brothers. So family support, unemployment. Some of those family members are not employed. So, a lot of people, close to 33% of people in South Africa are unemployed. A lot of people are hustling. A lot of people are looking at additional ways to make money. 83% of people are doing that. Gambling and gaming is increasing. We don't have savings to fall back on. People are accessing their retirement funds in order to cope. 96% of people today, when they retire today, don't have enough money to retire comfortably. So they become dependent on their family members. We've got global things like tariffs impacting us, impacting the sort of grocery costs, fuel costs. There could be job losses in certain sectors. And then there's the rise of finfluencers, people who are on TikTok and Instagram sharing, financially influencing our behavior. We know debt is a very common problem. As I mentioned, it's around about 70% of our income being spent on debt. People are often using debt, whether that be retail cards or store cards, in order simply to maintain their standard of living. People are worried. Nearly 1 in 2 people are worried about their ability to pay rent, to pay their bond. 20% of people have less than $1,000 left after payday or are in overdraft before payday. And a lot of people feel like they simply have too much debt and they don't understand the cost of lending. Pumla, if I was to, let's pretend, take out a loan with a Mashonisa or a loan shark, and I borrow 1,000 Rand today, what would I be expected to pay back in 30 days? Because it's short-term micro-lending debt.
The numbers are quite high. You can expect to pay up to 50% on that loan, so probably 1,500 Rand at the end of the month.
I mean, and that's scary. So you borrow 1,000 and you pay back 1,500. So that is 50% in 1 month. Whereas if you were to take out a credit card, the interest rate is calculated on an annual basis. So that 50% times by 12 is, you end up paying 600% if you get into that. And that's why very often they say debt is a trap. I'm not saying all debt is bad, but we've got to understand that cost of lending, and debt certainly being one of the main pressure points. So I think it's important to really ask yourself, where are you now on your financial journey? Just like you would ask yourself, where are you now on your study journey? Or where are you? You might just have registered. Awesome, that's the starting point. But the goal, the end point, is graduation. And there's going to be some work and a time frame between now and then. Similarly, in your career, what are you earning right now? 10,000 Rand. What do you want to earn? What's the target? 20,000 Rand. By when? Next month. Is that realistic? Maybe not. Or debt. Where are you now? How much debt do you have right now? What's the target? I want to be out of the debt trap. By when? And then how am I going to get there? So 4 key questions. Very, very, very important to goal setting. My apologies. Pumla, is it important to also take a look at what's changed in your life? What could be some of the things that might have changed on a person's journey?
Things like having a baby, for example, that can have a change, or change in your job, change in your circumstances. Perhaps the money that you're now earning is not the same. If you've lost your job, for an example, and you no longer have an income. So there's really a lot that can change, and some of it is not even in your control. So, for example, the economy, if it's not doing well and things are getting more expensive, you find yourself not being able to afford. So it's not really about you and how you're managing at the time, but because there are just certain circumstances that you can't really control. You are on mute, Val.
My apologies, Pumla. Here I am going on about that. My apologies. Yeah, asking yourself who you're responsible for. Um, you know, where are you at on your career? How are you coping? Maybe you're a single mom and you've got small children. Maybe you are juggling your commitments. Maybe you're planning to get married. Maybe you are close to retirement. Perhaps you are you've had a positive thing in your life, like a job promotion. Where are you at? And at the end of the day, money matters. So we're going to take a listen to this short video. I would just like you to give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Let's take a listen. So I'm just going to stop sharing for a second. Tebogo says there's no sound. I am going to thank you very much, Tebogo, for alerting me to that. Let's take a listen once again.
There are three things that control our lives: time, wealth, and health.
Awesome. So let's take a listen.
When we're young, we have time. Time to play, time to explore, time to waste, time to be curious. When we're young, we generally have health, we have energy, we have strength. But most of us don't have wealth. We don't have all the money in the world. We can't buy everything we want. We don't get everything we want. As we get older, we still have our health. It may not be the same, but it's still there. But we now have more wealth. We have more money. We have a home. We have devices and possessions. We have a car. We have access to things. But we don't always have time. Money can buy a house, but not a home. It can buy a bed, but not sleep. It can buy a book, but not knowledge. Money can earn a title, but not respect. It can buy a clock, but not time. Those of us who think we have no time for our health will sooner or later have to find time for our illness. When we're young, we had time and health, but no money. When we're older, we have money and health, but no time. And finally, in old age, we have money and time, but no health to use that wealth. So what do? We can have it all, just not all at the same time. We place so much pressure on ourselves, trying to get everything to be perfect, trying to get everything to balance, trying to get everything to work together, not recognizing that it's none of those things that actually create happiness or fulfillment in life. As we get older, time, health, and wealth will all be taken away from us. But the one thing that can never be taken away from us is the impact we have on others, because it lives on through them. Our health is the foundation of how we can build our time and wealth. And with our time and wealth, there are two key principles. We become successful by what we get, but we become happy by what we give. And what we give includes our time, our wealth, our energy. And when those things are used to make a positive difference in the lives of others, to help others move forward, to make an impact, that legacy will never be taken away. And as Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel.
So I hope you enjoyed that short video, and I hope you can all hear me. If you enjoyed that video, please give us a little heart, give us a reaction. For me, Jay Chetty is absolutely inspiring. And from a leadership perspective, if you're wanting to grow your career, it's not just about the money. Look, the money is nice. I can't argue. The money is great, but it's about that ability to have a lasting impression. That is the legacy that lives on. People will forget what you did for them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And I guess you as an Academy of York student, or you being on the line today, you can share that knowledge, you can share information that these sessions are available, and you can give people that opportunity to grow and to improve their lives. Time, health, and wealth. Those three are connected. Thank you, Cambridge, for that heart. Appreciate it. So no matter where you're at on your life stage, no matter how old you are, we all have a couple of things in common. One, we all work to earn a living. Whether you've got a side hustle, whether you're self-employed, whether you're employed, we work to earn a living. Two, we might receive a paycheck or income. Three, inevitably, we all pay tax. Sadly, we can't avoid it. Tax is something we all pay, different levels, depending on how much we earn. We have a bank account, because in order to be employed, you need a bank account, or in order to manage your finances, you need a bank account, or in order to get access to credit, you need a bank account. And we all experience loss and change in life. We don't know what our end date will be one day. We all have a start date, a birth date. We don't know what our end date will be. And I guess it's about making that dash count between the start date, between the end date. What can we do in between that dash? What can we do in between that? So when it comes to our finances, one of the main goals, and I'm sure you would agree with me, our goals are very often linked to, I want to earn more. 60 to 75% of people have one of their financial goals, and it is a financial goal, is I want to earn more. In fact, many of our students have the goal of studying in order to earn more. Fact, they want to earn more. And in fact, many of our students give us feedback that by improving their skills and knowledge, by completing that course, not just starting, completing that course, they have an ability to earn more. Because across the world, very often it is said, the more you learn, the more you earn. There's a direct correlation between your skills and your ability to earn. I'm not saying that you have to have a qualification in order to earn more. We know that there are a number of case studies where people have no qualifications and have become multi-billionaires, but they're the exception to the rule. So that concept of investing in yourself, whether it is self-study, whether it is correspondence learning like with Academy of York, whether it is simply reading a lot of books and learning and improving your skills, whether it's watching YouTube videos, investing in yourself has a guaranteed return on investment. So that financial concept in return on investment, vitally important. So what are the elements of financial well-being? Well, to simplify it, it's being able to manage your finances on a day-to-day basis. So you earn X, you spend Y. It's being able to budget, that very important keyword, budget. It's being able to make different choices, freedom of choice. There's a difference between financial wants and needs. We all want something that we don't always need. It's having that ability to absorb the ups and downs on life. And it's having a plan, a goal, and working towards it. So it's that being able to financially being healthy or being financially well is where you can meet your current obligations right now. You'll pay your bond, put food on the table, not necessarily go to McDonald's or buy takeaways every day. It's that ability to be able to have lights and water, but it's also that ability to feel secure and to be able to enjoy life or start to make choices that help us sort of enjoy life a bit more. It has 4 key elements: having skills. It is being able to manage our finances day to day, thinking to the future, and being able to navigate those ups and downs. So a good place to start is not just asking yourself, where am I on my financial journey, but perhaps also asking ourselves these 3 key questions. What do I need to stop doing on my financial journey or in my finances? What should I start doing? And what should I continue doing? Pumla, if I was to ask you, what is a good stop in the world of financial wellness or in your personal financial life? What are things that people should stop doing?
Stop looking at wants and look at your needs so that you can start living within your means.
Absolutely. We should stop just wanting everything and start to prioritize our needs. Good. Perhaps we need to start living within our needs or start managing our money more effectively. And maybe there are some things that you want to continue doing. So if you're already saving, whether it is 50 bucks or whether it is 100 Rand a month or whether it is 10 Rand a month or whether it is 1,000 Rand a month, if you're currently saving, that would be something you want to continue doing. So great little exercise. What do I need to stop? Spending without thinking. Thinking I'm going to the mall and I'm going to do window shopping, but I've got my wallet with me and I'm going to buy something. What do I need to start doing? Maybe I need to start saying no to my children. Every time they look at me, I swear they've forgotten my name as Mom or Val. They just see me as an ATM. They ask me for money. I've got to start saying no. No, I can't afford it. No, it's a sentence when I'm asked for money. And what do I need to continue doing? So great little exercise, stop, start, and continue. So there are ways to actually build your financial confidence. And, confident people are even able to sometimes ask, if they're working in a company, ask for their salaries to be reviewed on an annual basis because they know what their worth is and perhaps they know that they are doing more or they know that they've received a qualification and they have invested in themselves if they've paid for that qualification. And therefore, they are able to have that confident conversation. Confident people achieve their goals. So it's vitally important to build your money confidence. And it's not a case of simsalabim. It does take time. One of the ways in which you can build your confidence, your financial confidence, is to think about what you have done. What have you done that you're proud of? It could be the fact that I'm proud that I've got a job. I'm proud that I have started studying. I'm proud that I've completed my studies. I'm proud of my children. I'm proud of the fact that I have certain talents and I use those talents. I'm proud of the fact that I love public speaking and I love helping people. I love sharing my knowledge. From a financial perspective, it could be, I'm really proud of the fact that I am trying to budget every single month. I might not be successful, but I'm trying. I'm proud of the fact that I never used to save and I'm starting to save. I'm proud of the fact that I cut up my credit card. I'm proud of the fact that I've paid the rent on time. It can be anything. You know, when we get our payslips, if we're earning an income, I'm proud that I worked and that I got paid for the work that I did. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that I can take care of my children. So you really want to focus on what you have done, because it's so easy to say, oh, I'm doing all these things wrong. I'm not doing anything right. My to-do list is so long. No, I want you to say, what have I done? My to-done list, as opposed to what I still have to do. So it's about perhaps changing our mindset and even thinking about, because we all have weaknesses. Every single one of us have weaknesses, areas that we need to change. But everybody also has strengths. So what are your strengths? Maybe you're a great bargain hunter. Maybe you know where's the best place. Maybe you're good at finding bargains in terms of the cheapest place to buy groceries. Perhaps you're really good at communicating and telling your family that you can't help them on something. Maybe you're a good saver. Maybe you're an organized person. Maybe you have the ability to take risks. Maybe you're self-disciplined. What are you good at? What are your money strengths? And sometimes we never think about those strengths. Maybe you are already learning more to earn more. That's awesome. Maybe you need to realize that you need to build your strengths. You know that lovely saying, you can give a man a fish and you will feed him for one day. Teach them how to fish and you'll feed them for life. So I'm all about, one of the big things I'm all about is, you know, I've got adult children. My children are 25, 24, and 19. And one of the things I'm super proud of is, you know, telling my children that they need to earn their own money, that I am not just going to give them cash, that, you know, that they need to feel the feeling, that positive feeling that if they do something, if they work, money doesn't just come from trees. When they work, they're able to actually provide for themselves, and they need to learn how to manage to not only make money, but also then manage their own money. So it's about positive self-talk. It's about saying I can or I have, as opposed to I haven't. So we've really today tried to touch on the ability that don't tell yourself you can't manage your money skills. Well done. You attended today's meeting, today's webinar. Don't say you can't, say you can and you will. You can move from surviving on a monthly basis to thriving. But how do you do that? And while you can, it's about your actions. You know, that quote, we are what we do. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Every single thing in our life is a result of habits. If you woke up this morning and nobody reminded you to brush your teeth and you brushed your teeth, why? Because it's a habit. You wake up every morning, you wash your face, you brush your teeth. It's a habit. Managing money is a habit. So we can do things. It's about creating these small wins. And we're going to touch on some of the great money habits. But before we do that in our last 10 minutes, I would just love to see whether there are any questions from our audience. Pumla, if there are any questions or comments that we need to touch on before we get into some top tips to grow your financial confidence and top habits.
We have a comment from Mamoduka. She says, "Hi everyone. I do my budget every month. I'll put some money in my savings. Then boom, I will use that money. I save for things the money that I've saved for things out of my control. I need to stay on track of my finance, but it is challenging. Thank you for the topic. It is about me."
Congratulations and well done. You are well on track. One, you're conscious of it, you're creating the budget. Two, you're saving every single month. What we need to do, and you're saying you're tapping into your savings for things that are out of your control. And we need to just unpack that a little bit. So the good thing is you've got some of those building blocks. I would love to perhaps explore what you're tapping into. Is it truly out of your control? Could you maybe say no? If you were to put it into an account or somewhere that you cannot access, would that help you perhaps have a bit more discipline not to tap into it, or perhaps tap into a little bit, but not all of it? So that's a great comment, and I'm sure many people on the line can relate to what you've just shared. Thank you. Right, anything else from your side, Pumla? Any other comments or questions?
No, not at this stage.
Okay, awesome. So here are some key tips. One, you've got to look at what the goal is. Two, have to live within our means. And, you know, if you're earning 5,000 Rand, you can't spend 6,000 Rand, because then where are you getting that $1,000 from? And it doesn't matter how much you earn. You know, wealth is not about how much you earn. Wealth is how much you keep. Budgeting, trying to stick to the budget, and I know budgeting is tough. Making savings automagical, meaning saving before you spend, which it sounds like Mamaduka's doing. I save first and then I spend. Vitally important. Perhaps looking at how much debt you have, getting out of the debt trap. Imagine waking up on payday and not having debt. Knowing that life is going to be having ups and downs, saving for those unexpected expenses, then we know that when it happens, we're not going to use all of it, Mamaduka, but a portion of it. Looking at your shopping and spending rules, checking your credit, managing expectations, a great habit to have money conversations with those who impact you. Reach out for help. You're not alone. Help is at hand. And just remember, it's a journey. Be kind to yourself, self-care. Not self-care as in financially spoiling yourself every single day. I need to have takeaways every day. Self-care as in financial self-care. So those are some of my top tips. Let's take a look at some of them. So I said define the goal. So what is the goal? It might be I want to be my own business owner. I want to grow a side hustle. At the moment, I am doing photography on the side and I'm earning $500 a month. I want to grow that, or I want to earn more income, or I want to save for a special event, or I want to buy a home, or I want to pay off my credit card, or pay off a certain loan, or pay off that mashonisa because it's costing me so much money. What is the goal? And does the goal truly inspire you? You've got to be motivated. So very often we're not motivated by saving. It's far more exciting to spend versus save. But the benefit of saving outweighs the thrill of spending. So we've got to be motivated, truly motivated to stick to that goal. So before you set a goal, you want to really ask yourself, well, what prevented me from achieving that goal in the past? So for example, I always wanted to lose weight. I struggled with weight my whole life. Struggled with weight. The goal was to lose weight. I had to then say to myself, well, what stopped me from losing weight in the past? Well, not planning my meals. So what am I going to do now in order to know that that stopped me in the past? And now what can I do? I need to bring my lunch to work, for example. People inevitably overestimate what they can do in 24 hours and they underestimate what they can do in 6 months or in 1 year. So it's about actually asking yourself, what prevented my success? So if you're starting to save, what prevented me from letting that savings grow? Well, people asking me for money. That's what prevented me from allowing my savings to grow. Who was that? Could have I done something different? Did they pay me back? Or is this a never-ending story? But one of the key tools to financial health and wellness, or to money management, is budgeting. So A is awareness, B is budgeting. Really, a budget doesn't have a lot of sex appeal. Nobody says, woohoo, I'm going to budget. Yay, this is such fun. But budgeting tells money where to go instead of saying, oh my gosh, I got paid on the 25th of the month. It is now 9 days to payday. Where the heck did my money go? Like, seriously, I don't know. I had money in my wallet. What did I use it on? Did somebody take money out of my wallet? Budgeting allows you to tell money where to go. It is the most important financial skill, learning how to budget. Budget has 3 simple parts: income, the money that comes in; expenses, the money that goes out; and the outcome. That's the fact. Doesn't matter what budget you use, it always has 3 parts: money coming in, money going out, and what's the balance. It's as simple as that. Plus coming in minus coming out equal sign, what is the balance? Vitally, vitally important. And budgeting is a discipline. And every single line item of every budget is a choice. So you got to start with money coming in. If you're an employee, look at your payslip. Look at your payslip. When you're looking at the payslip, saying to yourself, how many hours did I work? What does that tax mean? What does UIF mean? What does PAYE mean? What benefits do I have? If I have benefits, am I on cost to company? You know, you got to, if you're your own business owner or an entrepreneur, what money is coming in after all of my costs? What am I spending my money on? Vitally, vitally important. What am I spending my money on? Is it the things people can see? Your car, or what you're wearing, or your handbag, or your phone, and how you look? Or is it things that not everybody can see? The fact that you're studying, unless you're telling them that you're studying, that's a good thing. Perhaps the fact that you're saving. Not everybody needs to see that you've got savings. It's private. Your children's education, life cover, having cover in case of unexpected emergencies and things. So ask yourself, what are you spending your money on? And then the equal sign. Vitally, vitally important. Right now, are you spending less than you earn? You're making a profit. Are you spending what you earn? You're breaking even. Are you spending more than you earn? Where are you getting the cash from? Are you spending what you earn, but you're saving? That's what we want to aim for. What is the outcome of your budget? So budgeting is a critical skill in terms of improving things. And then that little exercise of really every little cent adds up. I promise you. So small changes can make a very big difference. Earlier on, we were talking about, I want to win the lottery. But if you're spending $150 on lottery tickets every single month, and you've not ever won, and the statistics around you winning might be very low, that money you could be saving that 1,800 bucks. Or maybe every day you're spending money on airtime or a buddy cold drink. That can save you 3,600 Rand a year. Going out for dinner or Uber Eats, it's the little things that add up. So I want you to think about budgeting around the line of every single line item is a choice. Therefore, it is a choice to pay yourself first. So when you get paid or when you earn that income, it's a massive change in mindset. And I only started to do that a little bit later in life. When I earn my income, I need to remember that ability to earn my income is an asset. I am my greatest asset. 2, I need to then pay myself first. Before I pay anything else, I've got to get into the habit of making saving automagical. I've got to say to myself, I am more important than the things that I buy. Whether that is investing in yourself, but when you get paid, I'm going to save first. It's a habit. 50 bucks, 100 bucks. And then do your expenses next. And then you want to prioritize your expenses based on what is most important in order to pay. So to wrap us up in terms of really becoming conscious is to really ask ourselves, life is unexpected. Is debt the thing that is pulling your budget down? What type of debt do you have? If the goal is to get out of the debt trap, take it one debt at a time. That wonderful saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It starts by knowing what debt you have and taking one debt, one step at a time, or reaching out and finding out what debt solution will best suit me. And then creating that savings in order to help you navigate those ups and downs on your life. Because inevitably, when life happens and we don't have savings, we then tap into debt, other people's money, which ends up costing us a lot. So I hope you found today's session valuable and useful. I hope that perhaps it's marinating and you're thinking about what is the one small thing you can do today in order to help improve your financial tomorrow. Why? Because you are worth it. You are your most important asset. It's all about you. Before you can help others, you got to help yourself. So thank you for joining us. I encourage you to join us for the sessions that are coming up. Next month, we're looking at teamwork and collaboration. Teamwork makes the dream work, how we can collaborate with one another. We're going to take a look at problem solving. We know life is full of problems. How can I think better in order to find a solution? Then we're going to be taking a look at customer service. Whether you're in customer service or not, it's about how we treat others. That is vitally important. There are different types of customers, different communication skills. We're then going to be taking a look at the tech world and building your technological efficiency. AI is here. How can you use it? And finally, stress management and some financial boundaries and setting boundaries over the festive season. Remember, you're studying because you've got a purpose. And Academy of York is the college for people with a purpose. Thank you for joining us and have an awesome day. Thank you, Pumla.
Thank you so much, Val.
Please feel free to pop a note in the chat function. Give us feedback. Don't forget to invite your friends and family, colleagues to Wisdom Wednesdays. It's free. You got to love it. Take care and have a great day.